This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
Good morning, everyone. We continue Mishna Berura Yomi. We're up to Siman Taf Reish Ayin Gimel Sif Beis. Hadlaka Oisa Mitzvah. Lighting the menorah is the mitzvah, not placing the menorah. L'fikach different kavsa kadem sha'avar zman. If it was extinguished before the time elapsed, eno zakaka, you're not tied to it. Va'afilu kavsa be'is. You're meaning you don't have to relight it. Va'afilu kavsa be'ever Shabbos kam kabas Shabbos. Even if it went out ever Shabbos before you accept the Shabbos shadayin hu min ba'id yom. You don't relight it. You're not required to relight it. Let's say after you lit it, you came to fix it and you extinguished it unintentionally. You're not required to relight it. If you want to be machmer and relight it, you don't make another bracha. Says the Mishna Berura. Now, first let's see the Bir Halacha. The Bir Halacha quotes Chuvas Mari Bruna Simalametes, that because halakha oisa mitzvah, therefore do not remove your hand after you make the bracha until the majority of the wick that's coming out of the oil is burning. Says the Mishna Berura, halakha oisa mitzvah, take of kiyim hamitzvah, since once you light it, you immediately fulfill mitzvah. Therefore it goes out, you're not bound to it. If you lit in a place where the wind blows and it went out, you do have to relight it. To go and relight it in a place where the wind is not found. That's like you didn't put in enough oil. Lighting in a place where it will probably go out because of the wind is like putting it in a place where it's like lighting it without enough oil. But nevertheless, if you lit in such a place, don't make a bracha. It's obvious that if you see the fire is not catching, is not taking to the wick well, it'll definitely go out right away. You're not yotz with such a halacha, and you are halachically obligated to go back and relight it after it goes out. If it's still day, even Friday while it's still day, hatam. The reason you don't have to relight it, since Erev Shabbos you're required to light before Shkia, and you already made a bracha, the mitzvah began in a proper way. Look in Tash, he argues on this. His opinion is the Kodim Kabbalah Shabbos, that before Kabbalah Shabbos, that there is a permissibility to light, then you are required to light it without a bracha. If you want to be machmer, the Achronim write it's proper to be machmer lachzor al adlika b'chol inyan of a frad im nichba b'erev Shabbos, especially if it goes at erev Shabbos kodim kabbalah Shabbos. V'mu kibo b'atzmai Shabbos. If let's say he accepted upon himself Shabbos v'achakach kaba, and then it went out v'yishadayin zman heter, and there's still heter zman for someone else to light it for you. Mutar lam l'chavar she'adlikim, you could tell someone else to light it for you. Mitzvah and a mufchar liknoi shavel and Chanukah. It's a mitzvah. The choicest mitzvah is to buy wax for Ner Chanukah min mashanoit min aneres beis haknesa, from that which drips off the neros in the shul. Since a mitzvah was done with it, you should try to do another mitzvah with it. Siv Gimel ner shel cheres, a ner of earthenware shehidlik ba'alayla achas, that you lit it one time. Na'asayashan becomes old min manlikim ba'alayla achas. You should not light it another night. You're not allowed to light it another night. You have to take new ones every night. And if you only have old, masika b'chalayla bar, you should heat it up, burn it every night in the fire. V'ner shel machas insar chadash, a ner, a receptacle of metal, you don't need a new one. V'shel zchuchas or shecheres mechusa, if it's glass or coated pottery, dina kamat hechas, it's like metal. Cheres katzosom shetov kolechas sheyatzrich lasos menorah yafli kaicha. The Svarim write that it is correct for everyone to do their best to get a beautiful menorah. You should also have nice neros. Acheres, you should not light from a ner acheres and all that. Shumas, it becomes disgusting. Ubizui mitzvah, it's disgraceful for the mitzvah. Mechusa, if it's coated hainu mitzupa be'evar, let's say it's coated with lead. Siv dalet, ein choshen lepsilas v'lahachlifam ad shetichla. We're not concerned about wicks to change them until they're depleted. Says Mishna Berura, mitzvah. It's not a bizayin mitzvah not to put in new wicks. Just the opposite, they become easier to light. Once they're already lit. Sif tafresh ayin dalet. Shemutal hadik min ner lener. That's permitted to light from one ner to another. Madlikin ner Chanukah min ner Chanukah. You're permitted to light one ner Chanukah from another. I'm sorry, that's only to light one ner Chanukah to another ner Chanukah without an in between. But to light from a ner Chanukah, a shamus, to light the next Chanukah, that you're not allowed to do. Says the Mishna Berura, ner Chanukah, ner Chanukah. Talking about beyond the first night, where you have more than one ner, you light one from the other. Yinami below Rishon, or the first night, or you have two people, each one's lighting on their own. They're allowed to light one from the other. The stand ner shomitzah, and they're both ner shomitzah. Even though we say later on that you need to put it first in its place and then to light it. Meaning, the ner Chanukah has to be positioned in its place and then you light it, but you can't take a candle, light it from a previous candle, and then put it down. That for a short amount of time we're not makro. According to the opinion of other acharim, the soivrim, they hold that alzman mud gam ken yesh lahachbed, that for a short amount of time you also you should be makbid. Hachamar, here we're talking about shishnem kfum b'mkam, they're both set in their place. We're talking about their very long wicks. Psila magia le ner sofnei, one wick reaches the ner before it. You don't have to actually remove the ner. But that's provided that you're doing it without an in-between candle. The aim is a mitzvah, bizoy mitzvah. It's not considered disgraceful to mitzvah, because they're both of a mitzvah. If one of the neros went out, we should not light it from the others. Even without an in-between. Is not even for one out. Even though it's a chumrah of kavsa to relight it, but it's not a halacha, so you're not allowed to light it from another ner. This is not me'ikar hadin, but kaimelon kavsa in zakakla. Okay, we'll hold it over here, but we'll continue in Sif Gimel tomorrow. In Sif Kata and Gimel tomorrow.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.